10-4, media is going to be en route Sacramento south of Piedmont. Media is en route to Sacramento south of Piedmont. Allow them access to that area. 10-4. One, you're with the neighbor. Can you confirm the address, the street number of the suspect house? I was advised 936. Breaking emergency traffic. Is there a unit that's clear to handle? Making their way to the backyard of the residence. San Diego PD making their way to the backyard of the residence. I copy. Do you mind check to see if they have a large or a ladder out there? We're looking for a ladder in the backyard. Yeah, go ahead and bring it up. Sure one, we are going to have the 1019 for fuel. 1019 for fuel, 10-1. US 82. We have your ladder out in the street if you want to come pick it up. Release there and head 22 to launch now in your code 4 there. Is that a code 4 all the way around for the SRTC as well?
She's on the top of the shop. You know where the light is? Like that.
Incident command. All perimeter positions will hold their perimeter. All road closures will stay in place until further notice. Everybody else stand by. Everyone stand by. Everyone stand by. All perimeter positions.
Time for a monster break. Down there. Yeah.
Oh, you know.
Some guy walked up into the Rother 7-Eleven.
You know, I don't know the perimeter. Should, but I don't because I've been stuck on details like this.
Special service.
Yes, I'm sorry.
So as you were running through, what was? So you parked right in front here. What was going on? What did you see?
Well, basically what happened was I was driving, like I was telling the officer, up this road. That gray Ultima, I'm pretty sure it's that car, pulled in front of me, drove down that alley. A police car followed him down the alley. And then I was coming up closer to this intersection right here. And I wanted to get out of the way because another cop car was coming. And so I just pulled over onto the side of the street, and it didn't look like where he wanted to go, so that's why I just stopped. And he pulled in front of me, and he went down the street here. And after that, I sat in my car, and like I heard the gray car hit that truck. I didn't see anyone come out of it or anything like that, but I heard it, and then that was when I heard the gunshots, and I was like, I'm out of here. And I got out of my truck, and I crossed the street and left. I didn't even move, so.
So you heard firing. How many shots did you hear?
I'm thinking like 6 or 7 or something like that. It was really hard to tell. I mean.
And this was all right in front of y'all?
Yeah, this was right in front of me. I didn't see who fired the shots. It wasn't the police officer, but it was somewhere in the direction of that house, and it sounded like a low caliber bullet, something quick, nothing like an automatic weapon or anything.
But describe it to me. It was like boom, 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 right? No,
yeah, it was one after another. So boom, 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 boom. And then I got out of my car like, I don't know, 30 seconds after that because I was like stunned and I left, so.
And went across the street?
Yeah, I just went across the street. I went over to like that auto body shop.
And then what happened after that? It looked like must have been chaos.
Yeah, and like in those few moments of me crossing the street, it must have been like a cop car every couple seconds like showed up on this street. It like this entire place like filled up. Like, there were sirens going like crazy, and then they shut the streets down, and it was.
Now, from your vantage point across the street, what did you see? Could you see into the house?
I couldn't see
the house.
I couldn't see into the house, but I did see someone get arrested down there somewhere, or at least someone was in cuffs, and I know that. And then I saw someone in cuffs being taken out of the house over here as well. And then there was also a woman who was backed out from the property, was backing up with her hands up, and then it didn't seem like they were like arresting her. They just patted her down, so she might have lived there. I don't know.
So you kind of think maybe this guy was just bolted. He was looking for a place to hide.
I guess so, because it's weird, because he drove down the alley and circled around and came right here and just dished his car, and so, you know, he didn't get far.
So it didn't appear to you anyway like this guy lived here. He looks
No, at least to me it doesn't. I mean, and if you look at that car right there, that's like a brand new car, so it doesn't even have tags on it yet, and so I don't know.
Yeah. So and just one more time, and your name real quick?
I'm David Melton, Milton.
Milton?
Yeah.
Okay, Dave. And you work for Enterprise?
I do. I was off work early today for like family reasons and stuff, and so I just kind of got caught in the middle of this.
Yeah. Yeah, no question. But you know, so all of a sudden he's coming up the street. You pulled over.
Yeah.
And he's coming up the street in that car.
Yeah. Well, because he pulled in front of me as I was coming up the street, and so I was like, something serious is going on. I saw the cop chase him, and I was going to keep going, but then another cop car came, so I pulled over on this street, and I saw the same car hit this Titan right here, and then I heard the gunshots, and it was one event right after another, and I just left my car, and I didn't grab my phone or anything.
You just bailed.
Yeah, I just bailed because I didn't want to be near. Like, I didn't know how many more shots were going to be fired, and so. You know, it's like my truck will be fine, but you know what I mean?
But you won't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Strange way to kind of right in the middle of a work day.
Yeah,
And you
it's
get
a
caught
strange
up into
way
it.
to get off early, and I mean, I wasn't even really supposed to get off early today. I'm just wanted to do some stuff with my family, and now, I can't even drive home or anything. So.
Yeah, you're stuck.
Yeah.
Good.
Glenn Gian Antonio. It's GLENNGIANNANTONIO. I'm the homicide lieutenant for the San Diego Sheriff's Department. We all good?
We're all good.
All right. At around 12 o'clock this afternoon, a California Highway Patrol officer from the Border Division saw a vehicle with a vehicle code violation. He attempted to stop the car. When he activated his emergency equipment, the vehicle sped away. He initiated a pursuit, and the vehicle drove past 936 Sacramento Ave. I want to make sure. The vehicle slowed as it got to 936 Sacramento Ave. The officer saw the driver turn around and look back towards him. The vehicle then accelerated away again. Basically drove around a block in a big circle, and with the officer pursuing directly behind him, came to a stop in front of 936 Sacramento Ave again. The driver of the vehicle jumped out of the car as the officer was stopping behind him. The officer saw a black semi-automatic handgun in the driver's hand. The driver ran towards the residence. The officer got out of his vehicle and was about to pursue him. Then he saw the weapon. As the driver was running towards the vehicle, the driver turned around and looked back towards the CHP officer. The officer feared for his safety and for the safety of the people in the residence. He drew and fired his service weapon. The suspect continued running and dove through the front window of the residence, breaking the window. The officer then took a position of cover and radioed for assistance. Additional units from the Highway Patrol and the Sheriff's Department responded. The subject was eventually ordered via public address system from the Sheriff's Astrea helicopter to exit the residence. He did come out of the residence and was taken into custody. Additionally, 2 people were found in the alley. One had jumped the fence from the residence, and another woman was seen running down the alley. They were both detained. The owner of the residence was located in a trailer in the back of the residence. He was detained for questioning, and a 4th person, a woman, was located in the residence, and she was ordered out via PA, and she came out and was detained also. At least 2 of those people did have outstanding felony warrants and were taken into custody on those warrants. The suspect is identified, the driver of the vehicle was identified as Arturo Serrato. He's a 28-year-old Chula Vista resident. He's a parolee at large, and it turns out he was under the influence of methamphetamine. He was transported to Mercy Hospital. He sustained a grazing gunshot wound to the left shoulder, and it is a non-life-threatening injury. And I will take any questions.
Just a roll call. How many people? You got 3 women and 2
There was a
guys?
total of 5 people, 4 at the residence, 2 of which had fled and were detained, and the driver. So a total of 5 people were detained. 3 were taken into custody and 2 were just detained for questioning.
What is the relation?
There is a relationship between the driver and at least some of the people in the residence. The registered owner of the vehicle was one of the people that was detained inside the residence.
And how many women were?
2 women, 3 men.
What was he getting pulled over for?
It was no front plate, an equipment violation.
Spell his last name, please.
Serrato.
That's pretty rare to be pulled over for a front plate. I mean, were there other issues that he was
Not
looking
really,
at?
that's actually pretty common.
Which gender got arrested for warrants?
1 male and 1 female.
Can you describe the weapon?
It was described as a black semi-automatic pistol.
Was it recovered?
I'm not sure at this point. The sheriff's homicide detail is conducting the officer-involved shooting investigation, and they have not gone into the residence or even up to the residence at this point.
Did the suspect fire?
No, the suspect did not.
And how many shots and how many different officers fired? What is it?
We know there were multiple shots. We don't have the exact number at this point, and only 1 officer did fire his weapon.
Is the registered owner one of the ones arrested or just released?
I'm not sure. There were 2 women there. 1 was a registered owner, and 1 of the women was arrested. I'm just not sure which one it was.
Can you list the various agencies that responded?
To my knowledge, California Highway Patrol and the Sheriff's Department.
Are there any specific charges for the ones that were taken into custody?
There were 2 taken into custody for felony warrants. I'm not sure what the warrants were for.
What were the other roles?
At this point, he had a warrant for being a parolee at large. Other than that, it still needs to be determined.
Can you tell just even generally what the relationship, whether it's family relation or friends or acquaintances or what the relationship
1 was the
is?
girlfriend. Serrato's girlfriend was in the residence. And I believe there was an acquaintance relationship. I don't believe it was family relations.
When the police went in, was that a SWAT team, or who went in? Who made entry into the home?
The Sheriff's Special Enforcement Detail did do a sweep of the residence after the 1 woman that was inside came out. She was ordered out via PA, and she complied and came out. And no one else was found inside the residence.
Are we going to be able to get the names of the 2 arrested?
Yes, at some point.
And where did the chase start?
I don't have the street. The entire pursuit was just about a mile, so it was not a long pursuit. It was maybe a minute or 2.
We heard that when they came flying down up this street, the private car smacked into the back of the suspect before they went around the block. Any idea?
I haven't heard anything about that. There's one thing also of note. The vehicle that was being pursued essentially came to a stop. However, the driver apparently didn't put it in park. The vehicle did continue rolling forward and struck a parked vehicle pretty much in front of the house.
What kind of vehicle is it?
It's an 07 Chevy.
Color?
No, I don't know.
Anyone else?
Any other questions?
Not a stolen car.
No, it's not.
It looked like there were 2 different people.
So at the end of the pursuit, it hit a car on the. It hit a car on the.
It struck a parked vehicle.
There
Yes.
were 2 different people who were taken away ambulances from multiple injuries.
The second person in the ambulance was unrelated. It was a medical aid, completely unrelated to this.
And the suspect, when he was running from the outside, he dove into the front glass window of the residence?
Dove through the closed window, breaking it, and ending up inside the residence.
Did he suffer any sort of lacerations at all from?
The only injury that I've been told of is the grazing gunshot wound,
What part of the car?
his left shoulder. Any other questions?
Describe it as
Go home
a
and get a license
grazing
plate.
then? It wasn't a...
No, it was a grazing gunshot wound. From what it sounds like, the bullet did not actually enter into the body.
And he crashed around across the street from the house, correct?
I'm not sure. He ran directly to the residence. I'm not sure which side he stopped on.
And what schools were put on lockdown or safe campus? Or
Don't have that information.
What kind of a
He
weapon
does.
was it that was discharged then?
It was the officer's duty revolver, duty pistol.
Did you guys
Well, you have to make a
recover,
model of it?
I do not.
you recover the suspect's handgun?
We haven't been up to the scene yet. The homicide detail has not been up to the scene yet.